Hello and welcome to Cricket Adda presents Wrong One, episode 9, a weekly cricket podcast. It's pretty safe to say a weekly cricket podcast because we have been consistent over the last 9 weeks. Whether it's me, whether it's Kevin, both of us have been consistent. But yeah, I agree that it was extremely difficult to manage times with the one and only, the myth, the legend, the man himself, Kevin, because I had to do a lot of back and forth with his manager, and then finally we decided to come live at 9 a.m. EST and 6:30 p.m. IST. Kevin, I've heard that you've been traveling in California and you just roaming around and you enjoyed the views and all.
Oh yes, it was an excellent trip. I was on a business trip to Santa Monica, and yes, I had a really good time. I had a really good host, and it was a really good experience. I would recommend everyone, if possible, should make the trip down there. But yeah, please stay tuned to know updates on that. I had a very
Acha.
good experience with my fellow workers, which I'm trying to document. And yeah, if things go well, you will hear from me very soon about that.
Yeah, we are definitely starting another podcast as well where we discuss our personal lives. It's not happening. The name of the podcast is It's Not Happening. But yeah, coming back to the cricket, let's talk about some cricket, couple of matches throughout the week. And then, as we had decided earlier last week, that this week we will pick squads for 5 World Cup teams, and those 5 World Cup teams are India, England, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. And next week we will go ahead with the remaining 5 because it's a 10-team World Cup. But yeah, talking about the cricket, India, Ireland, first T20, I done and dusted. India won by just 2 runs, DLS method. To be honest, if the match would have been a 20 over game, India should have won it easily, 114. Not a difficult run chase, especially against the likes of the Ireland bowlers. But yeah, Jasprit Bumrah making a fantastic comeback. First over, second ball through the gate, off stump goes for a toss. Fourth, fifth ball, another wicket. 2 wickets in the first over. Jasprit Bumrah, the captain of India, a fantastic comeback, isn't it, for him?
Oh yes, it was. I was very impressed with the way he bowled. Just wanted to clarify one thing. Was the wicket an inside edge, or was it clear through the gap?
It seemed as an inside edge. I think there was some bat involved in it, and then the off stump went for a toss. But yeah,
No, so it was good. It's good. It was good to see him like get the in swinger going in, and I think he bowled really well. I'm not sure how good his captaincy was, and um, like I don't know. I don't think it's right to comment on that, but I think as a bowler he did really well. Even Prasidh Krishna for that matter bowled well, but like with Ireland, uh, it, there's not much that you can look into and say, oh, it was superb. Like because the quality of opposition that Ireland plays and the quality that we have is not on the same level. But it is good to see. I just hope like with when it comes to India selection, you often see that the guys who play against big teams and fail are often dropped in favor of the guys who will warm the bench and play against these weak nations and then make a claim for selection. So I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to see I don't want to see a few players, for example, Ravi Bishnoi, who are doing well against Ireland, and then trying to make a you can say trying to push his name for a selection for maybe the World Cup squad. I mean the T20 World Cup squad, because it's a different kind of like setup. But overall, I think it's good for players on the bench to get an opportunity to play for India and to test themselves against some kind of quality opposition.
yeah, definitely. I think it was fantastic. Like not a fantastic game, but a decent game, as you said. Some of the benched players for the best India side, like when all the top players are back, you don't see say Ravi Bishnoi. You maybe don't see Prasidh Krishna as well. Prasidh Krishna making a comeback after an injury, picking up 2 wickets as well. So yeah, really good for those. And then Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rutraj Gaikwad opened the innings. Unfortunately, the man himself, Rinku Singh, didn't get a bat. I was really excited to watch him bat for India. But yeah, hopefully today, when the second T20I will be played out between India and Ireland. Moving on to New Zealand and sorry, yeah.
No, continue, please continue.
Yeah, moving on to the New Zealand UAE game, and UAE has created history by defeating New Zealand for the first time and forcing a decider. They lost the first T20I, but the UAE has managed to win the second T20I. They chased down 144 successfully. And even though this is not a full strength New Zealand team, you don't expect them to lose to a team like UAE. I think it was quite shocking, quite surprising, and Kevin would chip in more on that because he's a big fan of the New Zealand cricket team. Kevin, any concerns for the New Zealand team, or do you see it as an aberration?
I think there are a few concerns. The biggest positive is Mark Chapman, whom I think is
Hmm.
trying to fight for the spot of Kane
Sure.
Williamson in the side. I
Yeah.
think he
Yeah.
was a bright light. I'm a little surprised with having Mitchell Santner bat at number three. I never understood where that came from, but I think New Zealand would be like disappointed with because this was a very good opportunity for some of the players like Chad Bowes, and I think even Tim Seifert for that matter, and they just blew it up. Not experienced batting lineup from New Zealand, and the guys I think they didn't grab the opportunities with both hands. So I think we're going to see a big transition post this World Cup, and and by 2024, I think we're going to see a completely new New Zealand side, and that's going to be the same for multiple countries. So yes, the future for New Zealand cricket, I think this their golden period that started with Brendan McCullum's captaincy around 2014. I think is just coming to an end with all the players like almost towards the late half of their careers. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the even for the matter the New Zealand players who are playing in the 100. You see, Finn Allen and Devin Conway have not done that well for Southern Brave. Also, Adam Mill has bowled well in patches, and Ish Sodhi I'm surprised has done pretty well from what I was expecting him to do. So yes, for that matter, a little disappointed, but I don't think they look much into it because the players know that this is their option; they need to grab it. And with New Zealand cricket, you know that they have a very good structure in place. So you know these guys like today tomorrow are going to get their due chances. So let's see how it goes from here.
Yeah, but definitely a huge positive for UAE, and they would like to build something from here. Players like Mohammad Wasim, Asif Khan scoring 55, and then Asif Khan getting 48 of just 29 balls. And the decider is tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, or is it today? I'll just check the schedule. It is today at 10 a.m. So both the games start together. It's the India Ireland game and the New Zealand UAE game as well. So UAE would like to win the series, but obviously it's not going to be as easy as it seems because even though New Zealand did lose the second T20 game, you would expect them to win the third and the series as well. But yeah, as Kevin said, a few concerns for New Zealand, a lot of injury concerns as well. Top players weren't available for this series, as you said. The players like Devon Conway I have been playing, Finn Allen have been playing in the 100 because that's where the money is. So yeah, moving on to the main agenda of this podcast, episode 9, wrong one, and that is picking World Cup squads for teams. Some teams have announced preliminary World Cup squads, some teams have announced squads for ODI series before the World Cup, which pretty much give away who are the players who will be picked for the World Cup. But before that, the big news which came in as soon as our podcast was over, I think that day or the next day, is that Ben Stokes has made himself available for the World Cup. And Kevin, I think there are two thoughts to this. First of all, is obviously Ben Stokes is once in a lifetime cricketer. Whenever he says he wants to play, he is picked, and that is how it should be because he is that great a cricketer. But at the same time, if you read it, I think Tim Payne was the guy who is like, this is just unfair towards other players. Other players play for 12 months, and then you just suddenly come and say that I'm available, and you're like just picked without any practice, without any game time in the ODI format. But I'm with the first thought process where it's Ben Stokes. He won you a World Cup 2019. He was the sole reason they managed to win the final, managed to score enough runs in the super over. And I think Ben Stokes, you just pick him every day, every night, just every day of the month, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you need to understand from where Ben Stokes is coming, and I think had Ben Stokes said, "I want to rest and I just want, I want to play all three formats," and had he continued, had he not taken his retirement, then you'd have seen a lot of critics among within the English circuit saying that he can't choose and pick his the series that he wants. Now, because Ben Stokes has done what he's done and the legacy that he has created, he has it's not that it's not that it's not the call, like it turned out to be that he did like kind of like De Villiers just before the World Cup. He said, I want to play the World Cup. But unlike Faf, Josh Butler knows the value that he brings, and that's the reason he was able to make you can say he was able to tweak the rules a bit just to get him in. Also, you need to look like from Tim Payne's perspective. Uh, the guy he replaced was Harry Brook. Now,
Harry Brook, yeah. Harry Brook.
hadn't grabbed the opportunities that he had in the ODI format, had Harry Brook done exceptionally well, like the way he lit up Test cricket, then I don't. Then this topic would have been a big one. But because Harry Brook was not able, and even the struggles that he had in the IPL,
IPL, yeah.
both of that I think went against him in favor of that. And uh, I feel bad for Harry Brook, but if even if Harry Brook had done well, I would have still backed Ben Stokes. Yeah, because
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like you just close your eyes and pick Ben Stokes, isn't it?
it's not about the quality and the reliability that he brings. It's about the experience and the ability to perform under pressure, and a lot of players can boast of that. Yes. So statistically, he might not look the best player, but when it matters the most, he always turns out to step up, to step his game. And you can see in the last World Cup as well. He got runs against the big teams. He got runs against England, against India. He got runs against Australia. He got runs against Sri Lanka. They were all three games under pressure, and he did well. Also, and he had initially a game against South Africa, and I think a
Yeah.
last game in the finals. So
Yeah,
yes,
I mean, obviously, who can forget the final knock? I mean, that is the one which everybody remembers, isn't it?
yes, if Williamson wasn't the only shining light in the New Zealand team, I'm pretty sure there's no doubt in my mind that Ben Stokes deserved the Man of the Tournament award because that's how good he was. So, so I can understand where Tim Payne is coming from, but I don't think a lot of experts are going to, back Tim Payne on his verdict on that. Yes. So
Yeah, I mean, even Australia is not listening to Tim Payne, so we shouldn't. And we have another panelist joining us. The one and only Shabby is back after a week's break. Last week we couldn't manage times with him because even Shabby is busy. So, yes, first of all, hi, how are you, sir? Doing good?
Yes, yes, yes. Doing very good and very excited to be back after a week's break. So let's see what we go in terms of discussion today, where we go India and other teams. Very excited for that.
Yeah, so the agenda, I think I have given you the agenda. Like, we are picking five World Cup squads today, and we are getting paid 1 lakh for each squad. So that's 5 lakhs per person, that's 15 lakhs. Don't ask me who is paying it, don't ask me where you will get paid, but I've heard that we will get paid. So, yeah, let's move on to the main discussion. I think we will not start with India because India will be last. We will go with England. Let's start with England because we were just talking about how Ben Stokes has made himself available for the big mega event. So let's do it. First choice players now. As we see, I think one of the squads for England cricket team has been announced for the New Zealand ODIs, if I'm not wrong, and you have Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow to open the innings, is what I'm guessing. Any doubts over there, Kevin or Shabby, if you want to chip in?
no, I think Jason Roy has had a very has been has struggled a bit going into the World Cup, but I think they're
Mm-hmm.
backing just purely on impact, and I think
Fair,
that's a
fair.
very
Yeah.
strong call. So yes,
Yeah, so the middle order consists. This is the players in the squad. We will discuss the 11 as well. David Malan, Joe Root without any doubt, Liam Livingstone, the big man Ben Stokes, the skipper Joss Butler, and you have Moin Ali as well. So that's 8 players straight up there. 7 more spots remaining. I think we have till here. If we could just
yeah.
like. Put it bold, let's not bold, let's do something later, but yeah. So that's 8 spots here. Any doubts over here till now? Anybody has any issues? No, we're going right. Luke Wright is the England selector, we are just doing his job. So yeah, the next, I think the second spinner, I mean, the first choice spinner is obviously Adil Rashid without any doubt. So that's 9 players straight up there. Now, let's now we have six more spots. Let's start with the Pacers. Have I forgotten any batter or anything? No, right?
No.
Yeah. Kevin, Chris Wokes, available and fit, should be there with the new ball. Obviously, Mark Wood is one of the Pacers who will feature in the 11 as well. So that's 12 done. Three more spots remaining. I've heard Sam Curran has been picked. So do you go with Sam Curran,
Yes,
Kevin?
yes, Sam Curran, yes.
Yeah. So now three more spots remaining. I think David Willie is another left armor. Sorry, Reese Topley is another left armor, and we have one more spot remaining. So who do we go with? Whether it's a fast
Yeah.
bowler, whether it's a spinner, Rihan Ahmed is the only spin option I see apart from the two in the squad. Thoughts on the last spot, Kevin Shabby, if you want to chip in here.
I was thinking they would like to go a spinner, but I understand where they're
Mm-hmm.
coming from. They would not like to pick a spinner is because they already have Moeen Ali, Adil Rashid, and Liam Livingstone. And if any of their spinners gets injured, I don't.
And Joe Root as well.
And
And
Joe
Joe
Root
Root
as
as
well.
well.
Yes, and because
Mm-hmm.
if any of the spinners gets injured, I don't see Ryan Ahmed coming into the lineup because I don't
Mm-hmm.
recall him bowling well in ODIs. I don't know what's his experience in that matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I presume that, or I wish they would go with a batter, and that's where I thought they would pick Harry Brook. But what they are
Okay.
with a very pace heavy attack, and I think they are looking towards Gus Atkinson. I'm not what.
Yeah. That is the guy who has been picked for the New Zealand ODI series, Gus Atkinson, who is like picked for the first time. So yeah, probably that. Shabby Jofra Archer, definitely they're not picking him in the first squad because what Luke Wright mentioned is that he's not fully fit, and even if he gets fit, it's mostly for the second half of the tournament. So you definitely not risk a fast bowler in a 15-member squad saying that he will only play the second half, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. Talking about Jofra Archer, so we recently experienced him in the IPL, and like in terms of injuries, I should say that he is like father of Bumrah. So Bumrah was not available only for 1 year. People went mad, but Jofra is like missing 2, 3 years of international cricket, and like no one is saying anything to him. But yeah, we know that the guy gets frequently injured and doesn't have match practice as well at international level or even at the club level. So it's good that they are strictly moving on from him, not like keeping him in the probables or anything like that. They just decided that we'll move on from him. We have options. So no issues on that. Okay, he was a star of last World Cup. He bowled well. Even he bowled super over, I guess. But yeah, nothing matters now. The what matters is current form and the current fitness. So if that's not there, then we don't have any choice.
Sorry, yeah, makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. You don't want to pick
I
a
have
player
a
who, yeah, Kevin.
I have a conspiracy theory. I think they're picking Reece Topley, and we always know with Reece Topley is just if 3 games, 4 games into the tournament, and he always picks up an injury. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think the plan is to start off with Reece Topley in the initial part of the tournament, and then have Jofra Archer come in for the latter half of the tournament. So yeah,
Yeah. That's something which Luke Wright has not revealed, but I think like he did mention that in case there is an injury, because he's traveling to India, he will travel to India. Jofra Archer, I'm pretty sure about that. He'll not be in the squad, but he will travel to India, and then as Kevin mentions, as soon as say a Reece Topley gets injured, you have Jofra Archer to replace him, fully fit Jofra Archer for the second half, probably in the playoffs, in the semi-finals. You never know. Jofra Archer might just
One
make
of
an
the
impact, bowl another.
I
Yeah.
I saw one very great post today about English team. So they were
Mm-hmm.
asking ChatGPT make a cricket team with 8 bowlers and 11 batters. So ChatGPT replies
Mm-hmm.
that cricket team only has 11 players, so we can't make a team with 8 batters and 11 batters
Mm-hmm.
and 8 bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
they have posted the 11 players of England cricket team playing extra of England cricket team, and they actually have 8 bowling options, and actually all of their 11 players can bat a bit as well. So it is
That's
reality what
true.
English cricket
That's
we are seeing.
true.
Hell lot number of all rounders.
Yeah, it's not only about all rounders, just the batting depth. As you just mentioned, that Adil Rashid has like 11 first class centuries. Sam Curran is probably batting at 8, Adil at 9, Vokes at 10, and then Wood at 11. 11 is what I'm assuming. We'll make the 11 right now.
Yes,
Let's go.
Wood was
Kevin, but for the last part,
smashing Australia in Ashes.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He scored 28 of 12, 13 deliveries, if I'm not wrong, in that third or fourth test, which they won. So what we are seeing at the moment is it's either Gus Atkinson. Sorry, just getting the spelling right there. It can be Rian Ahmed if they think they need another spinner, and if they need an extra batter, it's obviously Harry Brook, isn't it, Kevin?
Yes, I think so. And like if you see the squad, I like the way the squad is built up because it's on paper they look really good, but one needs to take into consideration that none of these players have played together a lot. Yes,
Yeah.
post the World Cup, it's just been in bits and pieces, and
Mm-hmm.
and some of the players are not in that great form. Like Jason Roy, David Malan, not had a great, you can say, 100 for that matter, and Liam Livingstone also has struggled. So, and these three, and two of these players are going to be in your starting 11. And if you look at the bowling lineup, there is like Chris Wokes, but I'm not sure if the ball is going to swing that much in in ODI cricket. So, what is your backup plan? Because Sam Curran doesn't have the pace. David Willey
Mm-hmm.
also is a good swing bowler, but without the swing, he just becomes someone who can do a bit of both. And Reece Topley can provide the X factor with his left arm angle and his cutters, but I'm not sure how fit he is. So there are issues within the side, but I think like this team has the players have played so much together and on and off, be it franchise cricket or whether it's in overseas conditions, that they're highly experienced and you expect them that they're going to do well. So you're backing this team purely on potential, more of on current form. So I'm very excited to see the number of bowlers that they have picked. But I wish, like, I want to see England do well because you enjoy the kind of cricket that they play.
But, how many matches are they playing on spin-friendly pitches? Something like Chennai or Lucknow?
I think they play India in Lucknow, and they have a couple
Yeah.
of matches in Chennai as well. So probably. But they have, as Kevin mentioned, they have Moeen Ali, they have Adil Rashid, they have Liam Livingstone, and Joe Root. So that's quite a lot of spin there. But yeah, let's talk about the 11 quickly. I think Jason Roy makes the 11, Johnny Bairstow makes the 11, Joe Root bats at 3, Ben Stokes bats at 4, Liam Livingstone bats at 5, Butler at 6, Moeen Ali at 7, Chris Wokes at 8, Rashid at 9, Sam Curran probably not 10, but Sam Curran as well, and then Mark Wood. I think this is the 11, and then you can probably replace Curran with a Topley or Vokes with a Topley based on how things are going. But I think this is what we are looking at the first 11. Probably David Malan has to miss out, is what I think, Kevin. Agree
Yeah.
with this?
Yes, David Malan is basically their backup opener. I think Josh Butler is going to bat at 5 and Liam Livingstone at 6. And it's a big
Yes, at
call.
6. Okay, fair, fair.
Yes, it's a big call because both are kind of like finishers. So I'm not sure. Like the key to this batting lineup is Joe Root. You get Joe Root within the first 10 overs, and there might be like you might just set up the cat in among the pigeons. So yeah, he's going to be the big key because all the other guys on flat batting wickets are really good. Maybe with the ball stopping a bit and turning, I'm not pretty sure how that lineup is going to adjust. And maybe in such a lineup, I think Moeen Ali has got to be a is going to be a big player, and I'm thinking
But
maybe
then, if you have finishers already before Moeen Ali in Joes Butler and Liam Livingston, then what is the role of Moeen Ali?
yes. So Moeen Ali basically is like so post since Morgan has taken over, Moeen Ali has become like the kind of like the number 7, and because his bowling was not required, you saw him that he was even dropped from the World Cup squad, and I find it difficult to believe like 2019 World Cup he didn't play. So now with the conditions favoring and the experience that he has, I think you might see Moeen Ali bat a little, like maybe at 5 for that matter, after Ben Stokes, because I don't see Josh Butler and Liam Livingstone wanting to come early. It depends on the situation, but I think Moeen Ali is like kind of like the kind of you can say. Uh, You can say like
Floater
I don't want to use the
or
word night watchman, but he's the kind of guy who could just you
you can
say.
say floater like.
Yes, yeah, floater is the perfect word for that. Yes, and for that matter, Sam Curran as well. I'm like, he looks good on paper, but the way he's fitting in the side, I think he would want to start off with a Reece Topley. I know he's done well in the 100, and he has the kind of, like, you can say, experience, but you just want that guy with Mark Wood to give you support in the middle overs, like someone who can offer you pace, and I know that's not Sam Curran's. You can say maybe on pitches that are offering you turn and are slow, his cutters might come really good into play. But besides that, I think maybe you just want to have someone like a Reece Topley start off.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Moeen Ali will be used as a floater depending on the right hand left hand combination. Say Ben Stokes gets out, Moeen Ali comes and bats above Joss Butler and Liam Livingstone. Not only that, but I think even Ben Stokes would be a key player with Joe Root, because Ben Stokes is going to bat higher up the order. He used to bat at five, if I'm not wrong, for in 2019 World Cup. But now with Morgan not there, you expect Stokes to bat at four. So Stokes along with Root will be the key in the middle overs when spin is on from both ends. But yeah, Roy and Bairstow will be the key in the power play. But as you said, yeah, I agree with the Reece Topley thing as well. I think Topley can play that Plunkett role, which Plunkett did in the middle overs, whether it was 11 to 40, where he used that cross seam deliveries to get uneven bounce and get a few wickets, and he was fantastic in that role. So Reece Topley with his left arm, as you said, with his cutters and his left arm angle will be key in those middle overs along with Mark Wood, who has extreme pace. Uh, I think this is for the England squad. Let's move on to the next team and let's go to South Africa. And Kevin, I think we discussed this once a while back. So let's start with that. Who are the openers? Your first opener is obviously Quinton de Kock, and do you go with Temba Bavuma as an opener,
Yeah,
Kevin?
of course, he's captain. He wants to bat. He wants to open, and he has got a good
Yeah.
ODI record as well, for that matter. So
So who bats three? Is it Rassie Vanderdusen?
yes, I wish he was
I
batting
don't.
this year, but
I'm not sure about the spelling, but I think that is the
yeah.
spelling. Aiden Markram as well. Then you have Henrik Klassen. Henrik Klassen. Apart from that, who do you have? David Miller is who I'm missing. Yeah, David Miller. So that's six players straight up there. Uh, am I missing any batter? I think one of the backup openers, Janeman Malan, if I'm not wrong. Or are you going with Devald Brevis as another batter? How do you go about that, Kevin?
I think they're looking at Reza Hendricks. Like
Eliza Hendricks
he was the one who was
in
playing, I think, in Bangladesh the last time they played. So I think they're
Mhm.
looking at him as a backup player.
Okay, let's keep Riza Hendricks here. Now, apart from that, the spin twins of Keshav, Maharaj, and Tabrez Shamsi. So a good combination there. One finger spinner, one wrist spinners. That's 9 players done. Now you have the fast bowlers. Let's go with the man himself, Kagiso Rabada. You have Enric Norke. Uh, who else? Who else? Who else? Do we go with Lungi Ngidi?
Yes, you have to go with him because this is South Africa.
Janssen.
Yes. Do you go with Marco Jansen? Do you go with Wayne Parnell? That was something which we were discussing, isn't it,
I
Kevin?
think
Or
I
do you?
think Marco Jansen might just get the nod ahead, just purely
Yeah.
because
So,
of the
yeah.
experience in the IPL.
So that's like two slots remaining. Two slots remaining. Did I miss any middle order batter? I don't think so. Van Der Dusen, Markham, Klassen, Miller. That's six straight
Are
up
they
there.
considering Russo?
Riley
Riley
Rousseau,
Russo?
not sure.
I don't think so. I don't think so for the
Even
ODI
think so.
format. I don't
But
think
he's
so.
back for T20s, I guess, right?
Yes, when he's
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. T20s is something which he's a top player, but yeah. So who is the third spinner, Kevin? Is it George Linde?
Yes, I think they're going to play George Linde
Yeah, it has to be
because he's someone
Not
who can
GR,
bat.
not Georgia. Yeah, George Linde. And then we have one more spot remaining. I would suggest it's either Deval Brevis or Tristan Stubbs, whoever they think, because Brevis has been picked in one of the squads, and they are backing him. So you never know. Uh, Does this look good for you, Shabby and Kevin?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it looks good. How many paces do you have? So you have
Four. You have four paces: Rabada, Norke, Lungi Ngidi, and Marco Jansen. Is that enough, or you want another one in Wayne Parnan?
it. I'm not sure because you saw England go in with six seam options, so I'm not sure what South Africa looking
But
at.
they have four spin options as well. Yeah, Markram will bowl. Markram will bowl. So that's three spin options. If you see the first 11, it's Maharaj, Shamsi, and Markram.
Mm.
But you would like a Linde as well, right? Say somebody gets injured. Say a Maharaj gets injured. You want Linde in your squad.
It's either George Linde or it's Fortune.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how to pronounce it. Yeah, because
Uh,
Beyond
George,
fortune.
George Linde,
BJORN.
yeah,
PJORN. Yeah,
OR beyond fortune.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So because George Linde, I think did well in the SA20, but I'm not sure whether and he's improved his batting. So maybe if they want an all-round spin option, they might look at him. But if they want a pure spinner, then they have to go. They could definitely go to back Fortune because I think he did well in one game once when just a few years back when he came to India, and he's also in the squad for the series against Australia. So if they go with the third
Hmm.
spin, I think it's got to be him. And yeah, it
Okay,
looks
okay.
a really good side.
Yeah, let's go with the 11 then. Decock, Bavuma, RVD. It's 3. Markram bats 4.
Miller is five.
Klassen. Sorry?
Miller is five.
Miller is 5. Klassen is 6. You have to pick
Play-
Janssen at 7 because that's the only option. Say Maharaj at 8. Rabada at 9. Norke at 10. Shamsi at 11 is what you're looking at. Fair enough?
Yes, I think so. I think this is a good side. I hope they back this. I'm not. I don't. Lungi Nigri looks very promising and he's done well in limited overs, but I think he doesn't make my side. You would want Kagiso Rabada and Marco Janssen to start off, maybe Anrik in somewhere in between as the third pacer, and then you have the other two bowlers in Shamsi and Maharaj control the middle overs. I think it looks a really good bowling lineup. It's just that small issue that number seven.
Number seven. Yeah, I agree with that. That the gap between the batting unit and the bowling unit, Marco Jansen is not still up there with his batting. He has good batting credentials, but not right up there with his batting. Say like a Moeen Ali who will bat at 7 for England. So that's way better than a Marco Jansen. So that's the only issue I think. Shabby, the only question which I would like to ask you is who you pick out of these two? Being a MI fan, both play for MI. Devon Brevis, Tristan Stubbs. Who do you pick?
So honestly, I was not known that these guys have been considered for ODIs. I thought they are like proper T20 players. But
Hmm.
yeah, Devald is very young. Krishan is bit middle age, I guess, 25 or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a lot of difference between two of the batsmen. Not sure based on the performance they will decide recent performance, and also I'm not sure what how are they playing in ODIs. If you ask T20s, I guess Tristan has better experience at international level than Brevis. Brevis is still a young player. Might go with bit experience and bit of age. They won't take Brevis, I feel. Go with Tristan Stubbs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Shabby has mentioned that India will be batting first in the second T20I against Ireland. Same team for India. No changes at all. Moving on, let's go to New Zealand.
I
Sorry.
just want to
Yeah.
add a comment. Like I'm very surprised that South Africa has picked an 18-member squad for the ODIs in South Africa against Australia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there might be like there might be an like possibility that both of these players don't get picked. They might just go in with one single an additional
So
batsman.
we 15 is the limit for World Cup, right?
Yes.
Officially,
Yes.
or 16.
Yes.
15, 15.
15. 15.
Then no chance both of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
have enough batters already.
they might just go in with one backup batsman. I think it's going to be Risa Hendricks. I'm not sure
Yeah.
where Gerald Coetzee fits in, but I the last thing you want to say, I don't want them to go back and go with an extra pacer like like Magala. I think it's a Sun.
Sanda Magala. No, but I think even if they go with an extra weight spacer, it would be Wayne Parnell for his left arm angle because the
Yes.
only left armer I see is Marco Jansen,
And he
right?
bats as well, right? He's like kind of all rounder.
Yeah,
When Parnell.
yeah,
It's a really
yeah.
like the reason why I'm emphasizing on the squad is because after a long time you're going to see like South Africa really are looking really good on paper, and this could, and a lot of their the pace unit is pretty young as compared to other teams. So I'm very excited on that aspect. I wish they get to bowl on good pitches where there is a balance for both for the pacers as well as the spinners, so that they both come into play. It's going to be very exciting to see this bowling lineup in the World Cup.
For some reason, I think QDK has to be the key member there. I don't think he has really done well in a big event
Markram as
for.
well.
Yeah, Markram as well. Markram with all his experience in India, even though he didn't like do extremely well for SRH, but you expect him. He's a decent player of spin, and then obviously the man who is in the form of his life, Henrik Klassen, batting at six, if I'm not wrong, or five, based on how it goes, whether it's Miller or Klassen. Moving on to the next team. Let's see. Let's go to New Zealand and Kevin, who opens with Devon Conway.
I think they're
Is it Finn Allen?
I think they're backing Finn Allen, but you know
Yes.
when they always have few surprises. They'll always pick someone out of the blue and pick a player
Mm-hmm.
on experience. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
surprised. Like you might see Martin Guptill, make like have a comeback into the
Mm-hmm.
ODI squad, because Finn Allen has not done that well in you can say in ODIs for them, and even in the 100
Yeah.
he's struggling to even to finish the power play overs. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's see how that goes. But yes, we are picking Kane Williamson because you want him to be the inside, else New Zealand might not end up competing in this tournament. And so you have
What's the update on Williamson injury? Like he's practicing any games before World Cup, or they're directly expecting him to back at the World
That's a gray area right now. Even Kane Williamson himself is not sure, is what I believe. Right, Kevin?
Yes, they did. He started batting. I think started batting the nets as well. But they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to risk him, so we might just know it at the last minute. So let's see how that goes. I think New Zealand can afford to pick him just purely to play the later half of the tournament as well, because he's that kind of a player for them. And
Who is the captain currently? Then
in his absence, I think Tom Latham is going to captain. Tim
Yeah.
oh,
Southey
then
Tom
makes
Latham is the
Latham.
vice captain. Yeah.
yes. Tim Southey doesn't.
Yeah. Kevin, any doubts here? Considering that Williamson is fit, these are the seven batters you're looking at in the squad.
I'm not sure whether Mark Chapman makes the side, but he's done well
No, no, I'm not talking about the 11, but he's
in the
definitely in the
15. I'm
15,
not
right?
sure. I'm not sure
Y-
because they might just
Okay,
go in with Henry Nicole, so that might just purely on experience and to take up that position
okay.
of Kane Williamson.
Hmm.
So
Let's say put a slash there, Henry Nichols.
are we ruling Michael Bracewell completely out?
Yeah. I don't think Michael Bracewell is making the squad. He's not fit, right?
Though there was an article that came way early that saying he would be unfit, but considering they have time on, they've kept they are keep waiting for Williamson to get fit. I presuming that they're doing the same thing for Michael Bracewell as well, because he is what he offers to the team is something that it's unique, because he's done well in India. He got a 140, really good, and his off spin also has been on the up. So yeah, but if you're
Yeah.
ruling him completely out, then you're definitely playing Mark Chapman. If Kane Williamson is ruled out, you bring in Henry Nichols. Yes, that works.
Yeah, so this is a 14 June article, as you said. Michael Bracewell to miss ODI World Cup with Achilles injury, so you never know.
Yes,
Let's see how it goes, but I don't think he's making the squad. So yeah, talking about spin, it's Mitchell Santner.
yes,
Is
Mr.
Sodi the
Sandner.
second spinner?
Yes,
Now let's go in with the piecers for the trend bowl is back. Who else? Tim Saudi.
Tim Southey for some reason has not been picked for the ODI side.
Oh, Locky for sure. Locky
You go with Lockie
Ferguson.
Ferguson. You go with Matt Henry. He has
Matt
taken
Henry,
over.
correct. Matt Henry.
How many spots you have? Three spots.
So this has 12 spots. You have three more spots. So would you like another spinner and who it is?
I don't
Do
think
you
they have
have
really
another
good
spinner?
spinners. I don't think they have really good spinners. So maybe you might just see them pick someone like James Neesham or Kyle Jamieson.
Yeah, James Neesham with all his experience, who hit the six in the, who hit the
So
six in the.
Bracewell played ODI series in India last, I guess,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But
And he
he's
scored 100
injured.
as
He's
well.
injured.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's
he's
injured.
injured. He's injured. He's injured. He's not making the 15 is what I believe. But still another spot remaining, and you would like say a backup batter, I think. And I think Kevin mentioned, how is this bowling shaping up? Let's look. It's
Yeah.
Trent Bolt, Matt Henry with the new ball, Lockie Ferguson in the middle, and I think these are the five bowlers is what we are looking at.
Yes,
And
I
then
think it's
Glenn
Kyle
Phillips can
Jamieson.
bowl. Yeah.
It's Kyle Jamieson slash Tim Southey, and for the last spot, they're looking at Adam Mill as a backup to Lockie Ferguson.
Okay,
And I
that's
think
how it goes then.
this is the squad for, I think, who they're playing. I think, are they playing Pakistan or?
England. They're playing England.
Oh yes, they're
They're
playing.
playing England. Yeah. Yeah. So the 11 is just a minute. Some insects coming on my laptop. Yeah. Devon Conway, Finn Allen, Williamson bats three. Say Mitchell bats four. I think Mitchell bats four and Latham five. Right? I'm not wrong. Right there.
I think so.
Taylor used to bat four and Latham five. Right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
would want to see Daryl Mitchell bat at six. I don't want him to bat at four, but
But
have someone like Mark Chapman or Henry Nichols go up the order.
this is the top six. Sander bat seven. That's definitely a one place higher, high for him. Is Sodi, Trent Bolt, Lockie Ferguson, and then Matt Henry. This is what the 11 looks like. Again, that number seven issue, I think, just like we talked about for South Africa, that bridge between the batting unit and the bowling unit. Santner, again, not quite up there with his batting. Yes, very good with his batting, but not a seven. I would prefer him at number eight. So
Yeah.
that's the issue I see. Spin looks good. Santner, Sodi look good, but I think that's the only two options I see they have them having. Apart from that, who bowls? Phillips will bowl a few overs if required, but no real spin option there. Mitchell with his dibbly dobblies in the middle overs could be a decent option on that stopping wickets. But uh, yeah, they have good backups in paces. Milne for Loki looks good. Jamieson slash Saudi for one of Bolt or Henry looks good. And
There's a
only
batting that's worrisome for them.
yeah, the batting looks like they don't have like a lot of options. They have only six batters, and those six have to perform. But again, Conway, fantastic batter. Williamson, if it is one of the top players. Mitchell again in the big tournaments shines, and Latham has fantastic experience with against spin bowlers. So I think that and Phillips as well at six is a good finisher. So yeah, not that bad, but yeah, as you said, looks a little weak, isn't it, Kevin?
Yes, it looks really good. I wish, like, I'm not sure how they go about it. I don't see Glenn Phillips. I know he has that kind of, like, aura around him, like the fielding that he brings in, some bit of off spin, the finisher. But I don't think if Williamson is not fit, I don't see Glenn Phillips playing, because you can't have that kind of unreliability within a team with Finn Allen and Glenn Phillips both playing. So I hope
You're
they
saying if Williamson is fit, Phillips doesn't play the
might,
in the 11.
if he's unfit. If he's unfit.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if he's unfit, then you will, like, it's a big call, but I see them going Henry Nichols opening up the opening with Finalen. Maybe you would have Devon Conway bat in the middle order. So you would have, like, kind of like Devon Conway 3, 4, Dal Mitchell 5, Tom Latham, and you try to strengthen up the middle order with Mark Chapman coming in at number 6. That way you
Fair
have
enough.
a bit of both. You have experience, and you have, you can say, kind of like solidity. But it's like this is with Ken Williamson not being there, and you don't know whether, even if he's fit, whether he can give you, like, because you are expecting a 500 season from Williamson, because the all the other players are just kind of like chip-ons. You have
What
Devin
about yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
you have Devon Conway, who's very who's very flexible, but he's opening the innings, and you don't want to lose such a big player at the top of the order in the first 10 overs. So it's you don't want to have like a kind of like a make or break kind of like an opening partnership. So I with New Zealand, like, you don't know what to pick, but it's fun to watch them because they always surprise you with their strategies. They always take tough decisions, and for some reason it always works out for them very well. So let's see how that goes. I'm keen on seeing how they go about it, because last in 2019 also, big call dropped. Colin Munro had Henry Nichols, a middle order batsman, open up the innings, and he top scored for them in the finals. And they had Colin de Grandom and James Neesham, a bit of both bits and pieces, and when it mattered the most, they both stood up. So let's see how it goes. And I'm seeing they seem to have lot of faith in Kyle Jamieson to pick him. And he's the type of he's that kind of like a Neil Wagner on the side, always brings in the kind of fighting spirit into the team. So let's see where this team goes for. But yeah, coming back to Australia, I think now they're the
Yeah, we will go to Australia, but before that, I was a big fan of Colin de Grandhomme. I liked him. He was really good, especially in the final as well. If I'm not wrong, he got the wicket of Joe Root, bowling like 10 overs for nothing, absolutely nothing. He was just swinging, bowling out swingers, and they had no idea how to bat against him. So yeah, moving on to what about Rachin Ravindra? Just a quick question: what about Rachin Ravindra? You don't see him coming in the squad?
no, I think he'll make the squad. Along with Mark Chapman, he will make the squad purely on potential, because they want that kind of like someone to bowl and bowl spin. So they might
Mm-hmm.
just drop off James Neesham to get him in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fair, fair. Yeah, let's put a slash there.
Because
Rachin.
James Neesham would have like he has means he gives you the or a feeling like he's there for you, but is not delivered that much post
Fair
20
enough.
World Cup.
Fair enough. Moving on to Australia, and we did it last time. Australia, the 15 is picked already, so we just have to pick an 11. And we had decided that Warner and Marsh open, Smith at 3, you have Head at 4, Stoinis at 5, Carey at 6, Maxwell at 7, Cummins at 8, probably Stark at 8. This is 8, 9. Zampa at 10. And if hashtag Ager is playing, you'll obviously bat up. But yeah, you need two spinners. So I think this is what you're looking at in the first 11. First of all, any doubts over the 15, because this looked covered last week, where we discussed about how Cameron Green will be the backup batter for anybody in the middle order or as an opener as well. You have two first choice pacers. You have Hazelwood as the third choice pacer, and then Josh Eglis, the backup wicketkeeper for Alex Carey, and then either of Nathan Ellis or Tanvir Sangha, based on whether they want a pace backup or a spin backup. But these are the two spinners, and they have Glenn Maxwell, and even Head can bowl. So this looks like all bases were covered in this 15, and the 11 looks good as well. Shabby, if you could just chip in here.
Okay, are you asking me? Sorry,
Yeah,
I missed.
yeah.
Sorry. Yes, so this team really looks great, and they look to like look as a strong contender at this World Cup, because has all of them have like great experience in playing in India. They'll also be having practice with Indian team just before World Cup. That also helps a lot.
Yes, yes.
And that experience overall, it's great experience in the squad. I don't think apart from Cameron Green, there is any young player who is not experienced. Very well built squad there. A lot of all rounders. Spin options are also good. Pacers are already known. So I'm really looking forward that they'll perform really well, and obviously they have to make to semi-final. Just new update that I guess Steven Smith and Stark are injured for the upcoming series with alongside
Yeah.
against South Africa.
South
So
Africa,
they
yeah.
have again brought in Labuschagne out of nowhere, and where they haven't picked him in the probable 17. So that is something not fair, I feel, with him, that you haven't picked him in the probables, but then particular type of player get injured, and you have only that guy who can replace Steven Smith. So you brought him out of nowhere. Let's see whether he can make it to 15 later if he performs well in this series. Because Labuschagne is like great character, and I feel he should be there as a part of World Cup at least, if not part of 11.
Interesting. Kevin, we discussed this last week. I think, I mean, I was not in favor of Marnus because of his average ODI record. But yeah, you mentioned that probably he is one of those players who will play spin well in the middle overs. Players like Stoinis, Marsh, Head, who are aggressive players, can struggle on those slow turning tracks where you need experience. And Marnus, being a fantastic player of spin, could have been an option. Yeah, Smith is injured, Stark is injured, so Marnus is replacing Smith. But a few things which Abby mentioned were excellent. That the experience these players have. Almost everybody has played in India over the last 5 to 7 years, whether it's the IPL, whether it's for the Australian team. As you said, the Pacers are well known, spin attack looks covered. It's a no-brainer. They are making it to the semi-finals, isn't it?
Yes, but you need a very good captain to manage these characters, and you saw it in like when you expected them to do really well in Australia and the T20 World Cup, they just flopped. When in 2019 you did not know what to expect, they did really well and, and ended up with the semi-finals. So you never know with Australia, but they take tough calls, and I think the selection of Manas just tells you that the only reason that he's been dropped from the World Cup is because they don't see him play in
Hmm.
if all the players are fit. They only expect him to come in like in case if Steve Smith is injured, and that was the only reason I think. And they were assuming that Steve Smith might play the entire tournament without any
Yeah.
injury. That is the only reason I see why they dropped him. Because if you see the setup of the side, like they have backups for almost every player, but there was no backup for Steve Smith, and that is where I wanted Manas to fit into the side, is because if Steve Smith has a bad day, you don't have that clue who can play. So just like you have, like in case if anything happens to Joe Root for that man, these guys are not going to, you cannot replace them. But with Joe Root, you have someone like David Malan who can steady the ship, kind of like a player. He's not the one who's going to play aggressive. He's going to play his natural game, which is kind of like solidify the innings. So with England, that wasn't an issue. New Zealand is completely different. They just play based on that day how they are. And for that matter, South Africa, you have Reza Hendricks, whom they would like to use as a floater. So every team has that kind of, but with Australia, no, they are very strict on that. So if you see the composition of the side, I don't see them making tactical changes based on the pitches. But they pick players like in case if most of the players are multi-format kind of players. If anyone gets injured, you want a replacement in. So let's see how that goes. This is a really good side as well because highly experienced in Indian conditions for that matter. Just I'm not sure whether how good Pat Cummins is, but because he's captain, he has to play. I feel Josh Hazelwood or Nathan Ellis for that matter would have made it would have made better. You can say um, they would have made the team much better. But now because Cummins is the captain, he has to play. So let's see. Because with Cummins, I'm not sure whether he's going to do well in the middle overs, whether he's going to open, or whether he's going to bowl in the death. Because surprisingly, he was not there for the series against India, and we had Marcus Stoinis open the innings when it came to the bowling.
Bowling, yeah, open the bowling, yeah, yeah.
So it's like I'm
So
not.
just to jinx Kevin, I think Pat Cummins will be the leading wicket taker of this World Cup.
I wish he is. Honestly, I wish he is, but I don't see. I think a lot of wickets might just go to spinners. I hope and pray that Stuck can do well. And I don't know how many wickets is can he
Stark does well in each and every World Cup.
yes.
Stark 15, 19. Stark is right up there.
I wish
Stark is right up
I
there.
wish he does. I wish he does it a third time. Third time lucky. I want to see him. Can he break McGrath's record? How many wickets does he need? So he's got
I think
25,
he's pretty
22,
close.
27.
He's
39 he's got. Yeah, he's got 39. I think he needs another 32. I don't think it's possible.
I think all the
McGrath 71, Stark 49. Okay, that's like 32 away. That's far away. That's far
No,
away. Yeah.
22, I think it's.
Sorry,
I
it's
think all
22, 22,
the
22, 22.
old records of the ODI World Cup, I guess all of them are going to break now as the World Cups move and more work will happen just because of this change in format where each team is playing 9 matches. So we had in
Wow.
2019, Rohit was almost reaching till Sachin's number of runs in a single World Cup of 2003. But when Sachin did it, was that was way different conditions and way less matches. But then Rohit did it in like lot more matches. So that was not at all a comparison between Rohit and Sachin. Sachin was beast in 2003. Rohit was also good in 2019, but we should not compare when the matches are less and matches are more. But again, because of this new format of the World Cup, when teams are playing more matches, definitely all these old World Cup records made in terms of wickets or main terms of runs, they all will be broken as we go gradually with the World Cup.
Fair point. That's a really good point there from Shabby. 9 matches. Each team plays 9 matches, and then if you make it to the final, you play another two. So that's 11 matches. That's a lot of games, and you have a lot of time to say even get back in form as well till the business end of the tournament. So you never know. Now let's come to the favorite topic. Kevin has been waiting for this. Let's go to the India squad, and we have already like discussed this every single week, and we will continue discussing it. Now let's just create the 11. That simplifies thing. It's Rohit Sharma and Gill to open the innings. You have Kohli at 3. Who bats at 4? See what the news which I have heard, and I think both of you have heard as well, is that KL Rahul is fit. KL Rahul will be picked in the squad, and KL Rahul is fit enough to keep wickets as well. So what I am expecting is KL Rahul to bat at 4, Hardik at 5, and then you expect Surya Kumar Yadav to bat at 6. The reason, because I think Shreyas Iyer is not yet fit and he won't be picked for the Asia Cup squad. And I'm not sure about the World Cup right now, but so this is the top six is what you're looking at. Jadeja bats 7 without any doubt. Kuldeep is your second spinner, and then you have Bumrah, Siraj, and then based on whether you want an extra spinner or extra pacer, you either go with Shami or Chehel. Who is first choice, Shami or Siraj? That's something which we will discuss. But Kevin, if you want to jump in here, what we are expecting is this is your top three. Sorry, this is your top three. KL Rahul is your number 4. Let's just remove this slash. KL Rahul is your number 4 because the news which we are getting is that he's fit. He will be picked in the Asia Cup squad. So KL Rahul is your number 4. Pandya 5, Surya 6. That top 6 is what you are looking at currently for the Asia Cup and probably for the World Cup if Shreyas Iyer doesn't get fit in time, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, I'd like to pass on to Shubham for this for Shabby to please take over, and then I'll give in my opinion on this.
Sure, sure. Shabby, if you could
Yeah,
jump
yeah.
in.
Fine, fine. Yes, if KL Rahul is fit, he has to play as up as he can because really great experience of ODIs and he was opener earlier. So he can definitely play 4 or 5 anyway. He's good player in that. But again, balance gets affected a bit. I feel if you put KL Rahul and if you have to play Suryakumar as well, then number 6 for Suryakumar or number 7, no, sorry, 5 or 6, I guess. I don't think it will that number will suit him. We have to try in Asia Cup and then in the Australia series. Not sure how much good he will play coming such a low down the order. So balance affects a bit. I feel Shreyas Iyer is the only player who can fit in that middle order conundrum that we have. But let's see what Surya does. And one more thing I had to mention about the bowlers, and out of nowhere, the reports are coming that Ashwin they are considering for ODIs, and just because the World Cup is in India, we have to agree with that thing that World Cup is in India. So the most experienced spinner in India is no doubt Ashwin. So, but not sure how fair it is with the guys like Chahal and Kuldeep who are like playing white ball cricket since long. And you took the decision in 2017 after you lost to Champions Trophy final to Pakistan that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go away from Jadeja and Ashwin, and then you gave chances to wrist spinners. Then you are now coming back that's the exactly same way how Ashwin came back to T20 World Cup squad as well 2 years back. So
yeah.
again, they are thinking of bringing him back to ODS squad. Not sure. I'm not sure with this decision. I don't think that is fair. You should like go. You should go with the guys who have been like playing ODIs or white ball cricket since long, and you should back them. I feel.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Ashwin will make. I don't think Ashwin will make the squad. I think it's Jadeja first choice, Kuldeep first choice, and then you either have Chahal slash Akshar Patel, or maybe both of them can make the squad. Is what I think, because Akshar with his batting credentials is right up there. Chahal with his wrist spin, and then if only one of them is picked, that's something they need to look out at. And then they go with Shardul Thakur as that extra pacer if they want. I'm also like thinking about Prasidh Krishna. If he's fit, do they consider him as an extra pacer? But yeah, Thakur has batting ability, so maybe that's
Prasidh
what they
Krishna
will
is
think.
replacement. Is replacement. If anyone gets injured, he'll
Yeah, yeah. I think if anybody
come
gets
up.
injured from the first 15, then Prasidh Krishna will make it to the squad. Kevin, Shreyas Iyer is still not fit, so you're expecting KL to bat at 4, Hardik at 5, and then Surya at 6?
No, I don't agree with that. You play Surya Kumar Yadav at 4. If you feel it's too early for him, you play him at 5. You can't play him at 6. And the reason I'm saying this is because the reason you're backing Surya Kumar Yadav is because of his game against spinners. If he's not going to come down so low the order, I think it completely negates the advantage that he brings to the side and the X factorness. I understand he gets those cute shots against the Pacers, but I'm
Uh,
sold
I
on
think
that.
you have violated the stream.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
joking. The word cute was banned. The word cute was banned from the stream.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so
Innovative
the
shots could
innovative
be a
shots
word.
and the obtuse angles that he creates, But yeah, so I'm
And
sold on
Not
that.
the
like one more
acute
thing.
angles, right? Not the acute angles. It's the obtuse angles.
Yeah, because Suryakumar Yadav is not like a Harry Brook, a 22-year-old Harry Brook that you need to shield against this kind of an attack. This guy is like experience. Like you're playing him because he has experience all over the globe, and you're going to hide him and pat him at number 6. It's no, I'm not a fan of that.
No, but then who bats 4, 5, 6? Hardik and KL say 5 and 6. Who bats 4 then?
You have to prioritize. You have to ask KL Rahul, are you comfortable batting at number 4?
Hmm.
And when I say
Hmm.
comfortable, is he confident that he's going to get the success that he had at number 5? Can he get the success at number 4? If that is the case, then you, based on his preference, you decide where to play Surya Kumar Yadav, because Surya Kumar Yadav has to adjust into the side. You don't want you don't want to adjust. You make a team adjustment just to fit in one guy, and with that one guy also, you're not confident as to what he's going to give you. What is the best? Can he give you 100? I'm not sure. You need hundreds from your pure batsman in ODI format. Can he give you hundreds? I'm not sold on that, because unlike you say, he's got 300s in T20 cricket for that matter. But Sanju Samson had 300s in IPL much before Surya Kumar Yadav, for that matter. So and you can say even those Surya Kumar has done well from 2018. So Samson got 200s from 2018 in the IPL, and he got them against good attacks. So I'm not.
No, are you
I guess
comparing Samson and Surya in the T20 format? Because Surya is definitely the
I don't
top
have ODI format to
T20.
compare. I don't have ODI format to compare. I'm just
No,
talking in terms of.
And Sanju has better ODI numbers for whatever number, like
no. I
whatever
feel the
games he has got.
point. One more point here is if you are
Hmm.
comparing T20 100 with ODI hundreds, I guess that's not comparable because in T20 you score
Yeah,
100 in 50
yeah,
balls, and in
yeah,
ODIs you
yeah,
have to play at least 80 to 90 balls to score 100. That's how you
yeah,
play ODI
yeah.
cricket. So
Exactly, but
do they have? Yeah, do they
they're
have the
backing
stamina? Do they
up.
have the ability to play such long innings?
Yeah, they're backing up purely based on that. So I'm not sold on that aspect. I think they might play him a few games till the time they lose a game, and then they might drop and get Ishan Kishan, and it's going to be a similar this model. But I'll talk more on the bowling. I think it's more of Akshar Patel slash Shardul Thakur. I feel Yuzvendra Chahal makes the side, and
Are you sure about that?
yes, I'm pretty sure on that.
What he did in
But
50-20
Sorry.
against West
fifth,
Indies. 50-20 against West Indies, he was smashed for 51 runs in 4 overs. Yuzvendra Chahal. So
Yes.
he's not in great form in terms of white ball cricket, I feel, Yuzvendra Chahal.
yeah,
I
not
think
only white ball
the
cricket, but yeah. Sorry, go
you
ahead,
have
Kevin.
to consider the conditions in now we can say, as we are NRIs, we know, like the conditions in the United States are purely flat batting
But
wickets, and they were
Kuldeep bowled really well in West Indies, but
yeah,
if you're
because
comparing like to like,
it's
yeah.
a different skill. You don't have when players prepare. The reason why Kuldeep Yadav has come up is because at that time there were not many Chinamans, and still, like, if you see the teams that don't have, if you see South Africa, they play Chinaman really good because they have someone like Tabri Shamsi to practice against.
See, yeah, yeah.
Yes, so you have that kind, judging against West Indies. It's it's difficult, but or the point that I'm trying to make is the only place that Akshar Patel can make it is in place of Ravindra Jadeja, and that is how Akshar Patel has debuted into the side. He wouldn't have never played ODI cricket had Jadeja not been, dropped, and they
But
needed
then you also have that, you also want that number 8 batsman, right?
Yeah,
No, played
I'm
two.
not entirely sure of what you're talking. I mean, not what you're talking. I'm not entirely sure of what you're suggesting because I think Aksar and Jadeja both can play in the 11.
I don't
Say
think
Jadeja at 7, Aksar at 8. If you want three spinners, you can go with Jadeja, Aksar, and Kuldeep.
because I think they both played. I think both Jadeja and
Played in the
Akshar
second
played
ODI, if I'm not wrong,
in the
against
second
West
ODI,
Indies.
and
Yeah,
I think we lost
yeah,
that ODI. They both
yeah. I
contact.
mean, but that was not the reason. India didn't score
No,
more
that's
runs.
it's a fair point, but the point I'm trying to make is you can't, like with both Akshar Patel. The only success of Akshar Patel when it comes to bowling has come in Test cricket. Even in the IPL, it's not been that great, but he is done enough to play as an all rounder. Now, when
Yeah.
you're going to play in the Indian side, you're going to have two players, Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel, on spin conditions. And if they're going to be play as all rounders, a bit of both, India might not have that bowler in the middle overs to take wickets. And that is where you would need someone with Kuldeep to give you kind of like wickets. So
Hmm.
that's the point I'm trying to make. And if for that matter, if they want a variation, they might look at Ashwin. So it's that spot of the all-round kind of spot where they're looking at someone who can give you wickets, because every team besides India has a really good, you can say, a batting lineup that has
Off
good
spinner.
they have
Acha,
got good
yeah.
left-handers.
Left-handers,
So if
yeah.
you're going to play Kuldeep Yadav, you're going to play Kuldeep, you're going to play Jadeja, and you're going to play Akshar. If you run
Hmm.
into, let's say, I'm not sure Ben Stokes is really good against spin, but you're going to run into other players um, like uh, like Moeen Ali for that matter, or you can go into get into Travis Head or Henry Nichols, Tom Latham. Who's going to be that guy who's going to get you wickets? So for me, if Chahal can do that, someone like even Shardul Thakur can do that, even Ashwin can do that. They just both they're going to get you up. They'll get you maybe a few bad balls, but they'll get you wickets. But the same can't be said because Akshar and Jadeja are more of consistent kind of bowlers. They get a lot of wickets when you try to play try to defend. Like they bring into consideration the LBW. I don't see them getting a lot of stumped wickets, but you might need that kind of a bowler. So that's a perspective from where I'm coming. And the debate between Shami and Siraj, I think Siraj has to open because Shami is not a great dead bowler, but Siraj is.
Fair.
So
Fair. But I think it's too late to get in Ashwin right now. He hasn't played ODIs since when, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that it's either these four spinners or three out of these four, out of which Kuldeep and Jadeja are definitely making it to the 15. And then you are either picking Chahal slash Aksar, or you're picking Chahal and Aksar, is what I'm looking at. Is what I believe. I think Ashwin, it's too late right now because he hasn't played ODS. T20, still he plays the IPL. That's why he was considered for the T20 World Cup. And again, he didn't do anything significant in the T20 World Cup in Australia. So there is no
So
point in
if
picking
if
Ashwin.
I talk
Yeah.
in terms of in point of view of batting as well, if you think about Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur, and Ashwin, all of
Hmm.
them bat at number eight. Okay,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
want player of such batting caliber of three of these to bat at number eight. And if you are
Hmm.
not taking them in the extra, then you absolutely don't have any batting at number eight because no
Correct.
Kuldeep Yadav, no Chahal, or no Bumrah can play at number eight.
Yeah.
So let's see if they want to have only one option for number eight or they want to have two options for number eight. And then they will play one, either Akshar or Shardul. And if you're saying that Chahal should make the 15, then they can have both Akshar and Shardul in the squad. They have to have only one of them. So again, that's a good decision they have to take here. That talking about number eight and spin bowling or pace bowling options.
yes, I think they whatever happens, they're going to get criticized for that matter, but they have to back, like they have to take a call and defend it. So it shouldn't be like you go ahead with you drop Yuzvendra Chahal and the Asia Cup just it goes south. You don't do well, and then say, oh, we made a mistake. Let's get Chahal back into side. It shouldn't work like that. You need to like kind of troubleshoot and to identify where your issues are. If your batting is struggling, you drop the batsman, get a new batsman. Don't change the bowling and say we require people who can bat
I
because you
just sense that
Fair
looking
enough.
at World Cup in India, I guess Shardul won't make it to the squad and Akshar will make it, I guess. It's a strong
Even I
intuition I'm
agree with
getting.
that. I think I had this debate with Kevin as well because there will be games where you want three spinners in the 11, whether it is against Australia at Chennai, whether it's against England in Lucknow. You'd want three spinners, and I don't see playing four pacers or anything in the squad. You already have two already have Bumrah, Shami, Siraj, and then Hardik as well is your fourth pacer. So I don't think Shardul. Yes, his batting ability is right up there, but
But
I
Akhtar
agree
is
with Shabby
better.
there definitely.
Akhtar is
Yeah,
better batsman than Shadul. No doubt
batter
in
as
that.
well. Yeah, he's definitely a
No
better
doubt in
batter.
that.
But
And become
Kevin is
reliable these
against
days.
Aksar. Yeah, Kevin against Aksar and Gujaratis is what I'm hearing from Kevin. So just joking, but I think tomorrow is the day when the Asia Cup squad is announced. 1:30 p.m. IST is when Ajit Agarkar will address the press conference. Is what I've heard from a few of my journalist friends. So let's see. Kevin, 1:30 p.m. IST is 4 p.m. EST. Sorry, no, it's not 4 p.m. EST. It's early morning. No, yeah, it's 4 a.m. EST. Sorry, it's 4 a.m. EST. So we will get to know once we wake up who is in the Asia Cup squad. That will give an idea as to how the team management is thinking, how Ajit Agarkar is thinking, how Rohit Sharma is thinking, and the secret information which I've got is that Kevin is attending that meeting. Kevin, if you could make a case for Sanju Samson, and if you convince, say, Ajit Agarkar and Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma to pick Sanju Samson in the squad, I'll be highly impressed because I see Surya Kumar Yadav and KL Rahul making the 15. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Is this the Kevin Menezes or the Kevin Lobo that's going to attend the press conference?
And that we can't reveal. I can't confirm or deny who
This was
is
an inside
attending.
joke. I think Shabby got it.
I
Yeah.
can't confirm or deny. But yeah, to be honest, the players which I mentioned here are only 15. Sorry, 14. So Shreyas Iyer, if he's fit, but I don't think he's fit. So Sanju Samson should make
Tilak
the.
Verma. You forgot Tilak Verma. It's Tilak
I
Verma.
don't think
He,
is Tilak Verma. I am heard that they are considering him, but
the
isn't
name
it
will
too
be
like?
discussed, but yeah, it won't make the
I
final
don't
list.
think
The
he's
name will be
making the
discussed.
squad because yeah, it's
Too early, too
like
early.
you have seven ODIs at max, 7 or 8 ODIs before the World Cup. So even if he plays all ODIs, he will play below less than 10 ODIs before the World Cup. Do you want a player with less than 10 ODIs play the World Cup?
How many
Kevin,
ODIs did Rishabh Pant play before he played the World Cup? 4? 5?
he was picked as a replacement player. He wasn't in the first 11, if I'm
Actually
not
made
wrong.
the 11.
Yeah, he made the 11.
He
That
made
was
it to 11,
something
but he
which is
wasn't into first 15 actually.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
was twice like second replacement player, not even
Second
first replacement player.
replacement,
Yeah.
yeah, I think second replacement, yeah. So
But yeah,
that's
the
strange,
whole
yeah.
thing is like I think the selectors are going to take into consideration the opinions of Rahul Dravid and Rohit
But I
Sharma.
guess
Rohit Sharma, yeah, and
for
Kevin, yeah.
for Asia Cup they are picking 16 or 17 players. I guess not only
22, 77. They
is
might just pick anybody who has played for India. They might just pick everybody tomorrow and then just confuse us even more.
It's
Uh,
interesting how had no injuries been a top six would have been completely right-handed batsmen, and
yeah,
nobody had an issue
completely
with
right.
that at all.
Yeah,
And then suddenly there are
yeah,
injuries to two players, and everyone's like, "Oh, we need a left hand in the middle order. We need someone who's X factor,"
yeah.
and all the talk like that. So
and just remember talking about right-handers. So just remember the left-handed Shikhar Dhawan. So do you think that name at least should be discussed, or he won't even the part of the
No, no,
discussion?
no. I think that
I
sail
think
has
it's too
that
late now, but
ship
I
has sailed.
honestly, when we started the conversation, I was of the opinion that instead of Ishan Kishan, you should have backed Shikhar Dhawan, in my opinion. And the only
Keeper, no? But
yes,
they
and
wanted keeper.
the only keeper, in my opinion, should have been Sanju Samson for that matter, just purely on experience. The guy
KL
is
Rahul है ना first choice keeper.
second choice.
After that,
We're talking
after
about the
that,
second
okay.
choice. If there were two slots for batting, I think Shikhar Dhawan should have been the first backup, and the second backup should have been Sanju Samson. But
See, Kevin, with all his roots, is just trying to convince that Sanju Samson has to make each and every India squad because Kevin has mentioned that if Sanju Samson scores a hundred, yeah, scores a century in the Asia Cup slash the World Cup. Hear it again. If Sanju Samson scores a century in the Asia Cup slash the World Cup, what will Kevin do? Please, could you just mention to us, Kevin?
I'll do a Ganguly at Lords, right?
Ganguly at Lords. Go and check that clip out if you don't know. Ganguly at Lords.
Yeah.
Once India won the 2002 NatWest series. But yeah, let's see what Ajit Agarkar and the team does tomorrow. Kevin won't be available tomorrow. I didn't think anybody is available tomorrow. It's a Monday. We will do next week when the squad will be out, and we will have heavy discussion, huge discussion
How many
on
matches
how it
will be
goes.
done by then, or no matches?
Sorry.
Will there be any matches done completed by then, or
For the Asia Cup, no, no, no. The Asia Cup starts on 30 August. The India Ireland series will be completed as we see Yashasvi Jaiswal got dismissed,
okay?
caught on the boundary. But yeah, fine. Tilak Verma will come out to bat now. I'm just really excited to see Rinku Singh. Just quick before we end the stream, predict Rinku Singh's score for the day.
Mm,
Kevin,
I think he'll get 15.
15. Shabby,
I'm not sure where, like, at what stage he comes to bat, but let's hope if he
yeah,
gets
yeah.
a bit upwards, like number six or number five or something, he can definitely score 30 plus.
Mm, yeah, even I'm hoping he scores 37 of just 16 deliveries.
I'm more keen on
Oh,
seeing
oh.
Shivam Dube bat, and I don't know
Yeah,
what's the talk with Washington Sundar. Whenever
yeah.
you see a player like Washington Sundar, and they're like, "Oh, we need to see how we can get the best out of Washington Sundar," and I think he's batting too low down the order. But I'm of the opinion, what has he done batting up the order?
Nothing. Nothing. Fair point. Yeah, that's it. I think. Do you have any points to discuss, Kevin?
No,
Apart from Sanju Samson?
I don't think so. Anything is there? I'm happy that they're only discussing Ashwin and not discussing Washington Sundar also, because he can bowl
No, no,
off
I
spin
don't think
and left-handed
Sundar and
also.
all are making the squad.
And
That's too much right now at this point. Sundar and all can't make the squad. That's too late. That's too late. If Tilak Verma scores a century today, you never know. He might be picked.
just goes to show, like, when Kuldeep Yadav was down on form playing for KKR, nobody expected him to even play for India, and they were
Yeah.
trying all the other players like Washington Sundar, and suddenly he gets a good season with Delhi, and he's back and he's the number one spinner, and now all the other players who were ahead of him are all waiting now. So I'm very happy for Kuldeep Yadav, and it's a good success
Yeah,
story.
even I'm happy for him. He had a fantastic season for Delhi. Yeah, I think KKR didn't treat him well. We will talk about that one day. But yeah, that's it for today. Cricket Adda presents Wrong One episode 9. Next week will be episode 10, and to celebrate that, I am expecting Kevin to travel to the place where I am, where we can do it in person from the same location. The Cricket Adda is sponsoring his ticket, and he will be traveling to the place where I am. I can't reveal my address because people might just come to meet me, and then it's all issues and all. You know, right? Shabby knows it that once we by mistake revealed Shabby's address, and then there are like huge crowds outside his house. Kevin, do attend tomorrow's meeting and give us some inside news.
Sure, sure.
That's it for today. Thank you very much. 4 overs gone is 34 for 1. India, Ireland. Do like, share, and subscribe, and keep on watching Cricket Adda's Wrong One, a weekly cricket podcast.